caring for the children of Abraham. Chapter 7. The week after the war, Terry Davidson invited me to accompany his family on a trip through some of the captured territory, dangerous and close to them before the war. Terry, his wife, and their 2 children, an armed Israeli soldier, and myself drove in Terry's family car. On the Mount of Olives, Terry spoke of wanting to open a hospital there, eventually did. From the back of the Mount of Olives, you can look south towards the Dead Sea, east toward Jordan, southwest down to Bethlehem, and north across a small valley to one of the walls of the old city. And behind that, the golden dome of the mosque, the Dome of the Rock, where God is said to have told Abraham to spare his child. We drove through Hebron's narrow streets and spoke of Abraham's having lived and died there. Abraham is revered as the Middle Eastern Jew Arab patriarch. The Jews and Arabs are Abraham's quarreling children. The Israeli soldier with us was a potter. We visited an Arab pottery shop near Hebron. We were welcomed into a large shed where pots and large urns in various stages of completion. There were several potter's wheels set at ground level with a kick wheel at a lower leg length below. The 2 wheels turned on the same axis. The potter asked me if I wanted to try. I made a feeble effort at kicking the wheel below. Our soldier companion pushed me aside. He said, "They're laughing at you." He handed his gun to Terry and sat down, kicked the wheel to potter speed, and raised a pleasing symmetrical form out of the clay. We drove over to the West Bank, past cars flattened like aluminum cans by tanks driving over them, burned out, exploded trucks, and everywhere empty brass rifle and machine gun cartridges. We drove through the rugged desert to the ruin of Jericho and bought tea from a Ramallah street vendor, poured with ceremonial gymnastics from a large canister into a small glass. People we met on this jaunt to Hebron and Ramallah, Arab and Jew, were up and around happily doing business. They did not seem obviously affected by the war. Many must have gotten out of the way and just resumed their lives when the fighting passed. Of course, some had fled and could not easily return. To be continued.